What's up, guys? This is Josh back with Daddy Disc Golf, and today we're going to be doing some more MVP as well as Axiom disc reviews. We're going to be covering the Axiom Tenacity as well as the MVP Relativity, taking them out to the field and seeing how they're flying. Alright, so first up today, we're going to be covering the Axiom Tenacity. This is an addition to the 23mm distance driver class for Axiom discs, and this thing feels great in my hand. You can see as far as the size goes, the backhand, as well as flick. It's kind of how I grip my discs. This is actually a 173. Feels really good. Has a nice dome on it, so let's get ripping, see how it flies. I believe this is my first throw with the Tenacity, so just wanted to kind of throw it generally flat and see what it did. For me, I kind of have a slower backhand, so it has a nice amount of turn, but it's definitely fading back for me. Now, Axiom describes this disc as a more worn-in version of the Catalyst, and if you've ever thrown the Catalyst before, you definitely know that it has that nice signature turn, but I was finding out of the Tenacity is that it definitely has more of a controllable distance on it. I was having more control with this disc than I have with any of my other distance drivers for the most part. I could put a lot onto it, but I wasn't turning it over for the most part, but if I did turn it over, it didn't completely dump. It would kind of stay and fade back in. And here's a little flick shot with Tenacity. Now I'm pretty sure I turned this over, but the important thing to see here is the fact that it didn't completely turn over and dump into a roller. It actually caught wind, started to glide a lot, and come back with that fade at the end. So again, very controllable distance. And just for reference, this field to the woods is about 450 to 475 feet. I'm throwing this disc probably 350 feet to 380 feet according to Google Maps. Now, I turned this throw over pretty good, but it definitely gets some crazy distance on it as it starts to fight back at the end. And some more flicks here, just because you guys know I definitely enjoy the flick shot. Threw this one a little higher. But again, very nice turn, huge amount of glide, and it was fading back for me every time. Now that's a little elevation shot, a lot of elevation down to this baseball field, much further, but I wanted you guys to see how this thing was flying in a wide open scenario. And to be honest, it's just a fun shot to make. This will be available in a stock stamp as well as this beautiful foil stamp. And next up, we got the MVP Relativity. I appreciate you, HQ, sending me the Purple Power, Baltimore Ravens colored Relativity. Loving it. Love the way it feels. 24.5mm rim, a little bigger in the hand. I kind of wasn't loving the way it was feeling, but once I started throwing it, I really was getting used to it. Having thrown the teleport for a little bit now, I'm getting adjusted to that larger feel, but I definitely like the speed that these discs provide and the ability to have them get up to speed faster. I like to keep it honest with you guys, and I'm going to continue to do so. This disc is incredible. I absolutely love the Relativity for distance shots, flick shots, backhand shots, really everything. I've been trying to mess with understable discs to try to get some more distance out of my game, as traditionally I kind of play the overstable controlled game. This was definitely allowing me to get more distance, throwing it softer and using that large turn to do a lot of the work for me. The thing I'd like to add about this disc is even though it is a 24.5mm disc, I did not feel like I had to put an incredible amount of power on this thing to get it to go a long ways. Now this, I threw a nice, steady, firm flick low, and the disc just did all the work. It seemed to do really well for me, have a great turn, and again, you see that nice fade at the end, not dumping back, but just kind of steadily fading in. And one example of a turnover shot that you can definitely achieve with this disc. It'll turn nice and keep going for you. So if you need that shot, forehand or backhand, that's available to you with the Relativity as well. Alright, and to finish up here with some more backhands with the Relativity. And just to reiterate, this disc is a whole lot of fun. You can play around with the amount of hyzer you're putting on it, or anhyzer for that matter, and just get all sorts of shapes out of this disc. It's very, very versatile, and it's very, very fast. If you're looking for that type of disc, the Relativity is definitely going to be the one for you. Again, just a couple more backhands to show you kind of how I personally was getting more distance out of this with my backhand. feel like each time I threw it, I was getting a little bit further. Really just learning how to throw this thing. One more toss. Alright, and to finish up here, here's the elevation shot with the Relativity. This was definitely one of the better shots I've had from this location with any MVP Axiom disc. I want to take the time to thank you guys for all the support Daddy Disc Golf has gotten over the past 1 year. Thank you for MVP for all the support and continuing to allow me to test these beautiful discs. Make sure to go out and get yourself a Relativity and this beautiful limited edition stamp or the stock stamp, as well as new bags dropping on the 20th and lots more stuff coming from MVP Axiom as usual. Always treating us so well, giving us amazing products. And again, Macro Tesla Proton is also out. So if you haven't had the chance to throw the macro, you're going to want to get one of these. And you can also get it in the limited edition run of 1,000, so don't miss them.